Hello everyone, I am Ty and welcome to Infinite Theory, where we'll be delivering tons of theories and reviews in regards to the Star Wars lore, the Marvel Universe, and video gaming platforms. I want to thank everyone for viewing my channel. It would be greatly appreciated if you just click the subscribe button on your bottom left hand of your screen. In this video there will be major spoilers, so if you have not seen episode 8 of The Mandalorian, I recommend leaving now and coming back later. So just to start off, this was the best episode of all in my personal opinion. Many questions were answered, a lot of new things came about, and there were plenty of Easter eggs. Again, this will be my short review, so I'll upload my full review in the next day or so you can come back and view the channel in the next couple days. So let's start off. The episode starts off with the two stormtroopers riding back to the city with the child in some type of little bag or something. So after a few minutes, they just stop, they stall, and they call Moff Gideon and ask what do they want, what does he want him to do, and he just says hold tight. And so after a few minutes of them holding tight, IG-11 shows up, like most of us thought would happen. IG-11 obviously just destroys these two stormtroopers, grabs the child, and it rides off toward where Mando is standing off, where they left off at the end of episode 7. So he does eventually also confirm that Quill has been terminated. So that was unfortunate because we all began to start to like Quill, I'm sure. And so the next scene, Moff Gideon is trying to convince Mando, Cara, and Greef to surrender. And he actually starts talking, like naming them off. And so that gives us a lot more information than we knew before. So he specifically saying Cara Dune is from Alderaan, which we know Princess Leia was from there. And this was a planet which was blown up in episode 4 by the first Death Star. So he also calls Mando by his name. So we get his name in this episode, which is Din Djarin. Again, it's Din Djarin. He names him specifically by name. And then he also mentions, Moff mentions Greef as being wise over the years. So he obviously knows more than what we thought he knew about Mando's crew. With that being said, after the conversation goes nowhere, they didn't give up or surrender or anything. Moff says, you know what, I'll give you till sundown. And so Mando goes on in regards to how he knows Moff and knows who he is. And then they go into a flashback to start the flashback of Mando. So we finally find out who saved him. And it's actually a Mandalorian. It's not Obi-Wan or Anakin or anyone else, which a lot of people were saying they thought would happen, which I'm glad they didn't. It was just a Mandalorian. He talks about how the Mandalorians are not a race, but a creed. So a lot of people were saying the Mandalorians are a race, but they're definitely not a race. We find that out. It's canon. They're a creed. It's a way of life. So after the flashback, who shows up to the village, the scene or the town or whatever you want to call it, it's IG-11. So after the flashback, IG-11 starts to reach the village carrying the child in the bag. So there's a huge shootout. IG-11 just is destroying everyone as he reaches the city, as he finally gets to Mando and everyone. And they all get together, and Greef comes out with his gun, and he shoots this weapon case or whatever you want to call it. And it blows up, and it blows Mando up, and he gets a bad head injury. And so, but he didn't die. So they're all in there. So you got IG-11, Mando, Cara, and Greef. They're all inside of the little hut or the little room or bunker or whatever you want to call it. And then Moff Gideon orders one of his stormtroopers to go in and burn them out. And so, since Mando is hurt, he thinks he's gonna die, but we obviously know he's not gonna die. This is his show. But as the trooper comes in with his flamethrower, what do you think happens? Baby Yoda, yes, Baby Yoda, or the child, or whatever you want to call him. He starts to use the Force, and he pushes the fire back, and he blows the stormtrooper up. This is so bad that it reminds me of Yoda. Or I really thought, I'm like, how can someone this young, this baby, this child be this strong in the Force already. I definitely can't wait to see next season. All right, so on to the next part. IG-11 actually cuts them a way out, so they actually get through the tunnels. But Mando stays behind because he thought he was gonna die. But IG-11 stays with him to save him. So IG-11 and Mando are having conversations, and you can tell that Mando is scared, thinking he's gonna die. And then IG-11 says, "Well, I can save you. I just need to take your helmet off." And Mando says, this is his creed. I'm not allowed to do so. I'm not allowed to allow any living creature see him, any living beings. And this is when IG-11 says, I'm not a living creature. Then Mando allows him to take his helmet off. And who is it? Oh, it's the guy from the Game of Thrones, or Pedro Pascal, whichever one you want to say. But we all knew who it was. But it was good to see him for the first time. Then IG-11, gives him some type of medicine or something. He sprays it on his head, and he starts to heal and get better, and they catch up to the crew now in the tunnels. Only to find out that looking through the tunnels and trying to find all the other Mandalorians, he found out that the majority of his clan had been killed by the Imperials, and so that was pretty sad. Seeing that from episode episode 3, all of his Mando friends, the majority of them have been killed. We didn't see their bodies, at least, so nothing is definite, but we didn't see their bodies. We saw all their Mandalorian armor just ripped apart with holes in the helmets and things like that. So we assume that the majority of them are dead. But you know what? The blacksmith survived, and so she is actually now one of my favorite characters. She is so bad in this scene where she just single-handedly destroys a group of stormtroopers. But before she did that, she forged Mando his own flight pack, or I call it a flight pack, but it's really called the Rising Phoenix, or whatever you want to call it. She forged him one of those, and she, explained to him like how that foundling, the child, because it's a foundling in their creed, Mando must return to his race, or until he's of age, has to be his father. So she also gave him a signet, or whatever you want to call that thing. She put something on him that's supposed to be significant to him as their creed. And so they all headed out, and everyone except the blacksmith. So she stayed behind. So we're definitely going to see her again in some shape or form. Still wondering who she is. It would be cool if she was someone like Sabine Wren or something. I highly doubt it, but that would be pretty cool. But they won't do anything like that, I don't think. And so they all head out, and they're going down this like lava river. And then IG-11 start to tell Mando how they have no way out. They're going to be destroyed because at the end of this lava river is like a huge group of stormtroopers. And so, as he did in episode 1, he said, "I'm going to terminate myself." They go back and forth. Mando is sad, but he walks out there and he ends up destroying himself, but destroying all the other all the stormtroopers that were waiting for them. And then you think they're home free, and then who comes out? It's Moff Gideon in his ship, trying to blow him away. He missed a few times, and then so what happens? Mando gets in his pack, right? And he flies up, and he takes the ship down. And that's the cool part. He takes the ship down. Mando comes down, and you think they're all home free, and he's gonna leave in his ship and just be happily ever after. But no, that's not what happened. So we thought Moff was dead. He was not dead. He actually comes out. He cuts his way out of the ship, and what does he cut his way out with? It looks like it's the Darksaber. I'm gonna have to say he had the Darksaber. It just looks a little longer than what it did in the animated, but maybe they just made it different. But it's definitely some type of lightsaber. And I would want to say that it's gonna be the Darksaber. Once that someone mentions it or sees it, who knows what it is. But this was definitely the best of all the episodes. I'm glad they saved it for the finale. Again, I will upload another video that will go in a little bit more detail and more screenshots of the actual episode. So again, I appreciate you coming to my page and viewing it. Click the like if you like the video, and please subscribe if you already haven't.